Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Convocation Center on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon from California, Pennsylvania for a PSAC West matchup between the IUP Crimson Hawks and your California Vulcans. My name is Jonathan Sabe. Alongside me here today is my good friend Adam Crawford. Adam, it's been a while. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, buddy. Good to be back on the headset with you again. It's been a while since football season, but good to be in the Convocation Center for this one today. Two good teams. Should be a real good matchup with two rivals.
Two rivals indeed, and like I said, you get a bit of slack as you're entranced in the baseball season upcoming, but you have been missed. And like you said, two good teams, two teams historically, at least in school-wise, going toe-to-toe in pretty much everything. This rivalry in recent years been one that heavily favoring IUP until last year, where the Vulcans were finally getting their first two wins in almost a decade of basketball play between these two teams.
Yeah, two really good teams traditionally in California with real high hopes coming into the season, ranked fourth nationally. Got a couple key injuries early in the season and have been finding their way through the middle part of this season as of late as we start to get into the back half of the conference schedule. And IUP kind of the same way, but instead of injuries, it's been some transfers and some graduation exits on their roster from last season. But still two really good teams who can take it to you if you're not ready.
Yeah, two teams in similar situations, but kind of different avenues of getting there. And we can get into the starting lineups for both teams, starting with the visiting Crimson Hawks, who coming into this game 10-9 overall, 6-6 in conference play. And like you mentioned, this is the last matchup of the first half of conference play. After this, the schedule flips and everybody will travel from where they played here today. So California will face off IUP on the next trip around at the Kovalchuk Arena. But the starting lineup for the Crimson Hawks, starting at guard number 1, the 5'10 freshman from Toronto, Canada, Kaimani Mararo. Up next, number 11, the 6'1 junior guard from Suffolk, Virginia, Christian Moore. Up next, the redshirted junior forward, 6'6 from Harlem, New York, number 12, Demir Brooks. Up next, the 6'7 freshman from Erie, Pennsylvania, Tyler Grove. And finally, rounding out the 5, the 6'3 sophomore guard from Ankara, Turkey, number 25, Sarp Fortune rounds out the 5 here for the Crimson Hawks. And for the Vulcans, like I said, after some early season injuries, they've finally been able to stabilize the starting lineup a little bit, the usual suspects that we've been used to seeing here for California.
Yeah, starting at guard for California, number 1, Cam Pollock out of West Homestead, Pennsylvania, and Munhall High School. Starting at guard for California as well, number 12, Jordan Buchanan. He is from Pensacola, Florida. Number 13, Donald Whitehead, also in the starting lineup today. He's going to have a good game today if the Vulcans want to put some points up on the board and keep pace with this Indiana University of Pennsylvania offense. Starting at forward, number 20, Delman Alexander, and rounding out the starting 5 for California, number 22, Caden Hanna at forward as well, the 6'4", 210-pound senior, looking to have a big game down inside the paint for California today. Rebounds are going to be a big key in this one, offensively and defensively. Just kind of control the pace of the matchup throughout.
And that's really what bit them on Saturday against Edinboro, where California faced defeat against the Fighting Scots, where, like you said, you have Everin, Edinboro was really dominating California on the glass, and like you mentioned, that's going to be a big factor coming into today's contest. And both teams getting ready to head towards the center court, getting ready for the opening tip. California in the home white and reds. IUP in the visiting black with white. California will be going from left to right here in this first half. IUP right to left. Like you said, Adam, in this PSAC West, it's really a one-team race up front with Gannon, and then the rest of them in a dogfight for that middle-of-the-pack road.
Yeah, Gannon having a heck of a season, 11-1 as they stand in conference play, 16-4 overall. And then in the middle of the pack, you have this IUP squad at 6-6 in the conference. And ahead of Pitt, Johnstown, and Clarion stands this California team with 5 wins and 7 losses coming into the contest in the conference.
Both teams looking to establish themselves here in the PSAC West in one final game from the first half of PSAC West play, and it will be IUP winning the opening tip. Fortune inside to Brooks, back out to Fortune, up against Polak. Nice screen pass inside to Brooks, off the glass, no good. A second chance as he's able to grab the rebound. He's able to finish, and Brooks gets the Crimson Hawks on the board first.
Yeah, Brooks had a mismatch down inside on Polak, the smaller defender, able to get the rebound and put it home.
Buchanan, the freshman from Pensacola, Florida, looking to have himself another big game. Finds Polak off the screen. The three ball from Cam doesn't get the roll. Rebounded by Fortune. Now IUP looking to push the tempo a little bit. It will bring it back out. Christian Moore in possession of the ball here for the Crimson Hawks. Little give and go with Brooks. The three-pointer from Moore, no good. And a scramble for the rebound is going to come off of a Crimson Hawk out of play.
A good first opening possession from IUP, able to get the offensive rebound down inside and put it home for the 2 points, and a missed shot by Polak keeps IUP in front early.
2-0, 18:58 remaining here in the first half of play. Whitehead in possession here for California, gets the switch on to Brooks, finds Buchanan with the long two, fading away. Jordan Buchanan is able to knock it down and ties things up here at 2.
Yeah, Buchanan's got a nice shot in the mid-range, able to pull up from a little bit farther out.
Yeah, somebody that the Vulcans would have liked to see establish himself as a sixth man has been thrusted into the starting lineup here for California, and he's done phenomenally. And like I said, last game, 19 points in that loss against Edinboro. Moore now driving inside toward the paint, past Buchanan, off the glass and in. An easy bucket that time from Christian Moore.
Yeah, Buchanan fought hard to get outside and contest the three-point attempt, but a good pump fake and drive was able to get right past him.
Hannah on the near side for California, finds Buchanan in the corner. Give and go back inside to Hannah, just floating up there for so long. Can he get the roll? And he does, and Caden Hannah on the board here for the Vulcans.
It's what they call a shooter's touch.
Just floating up there for so long. Caden Hannah, who had himself a bit of a quiet afternoon in that game up in Erie on Saturday, looking to establish himself early on in this one for the Vulcans. Will be Grove for three. That one way off the mark. Whitehead able to tap that one to Buchanan. Now the Vulcans quickly up ahead. Whitehead inside. Bounce pass finds Polak for three now. That one off the mark, no good, but Cade Hannah able to grab the offensive board for the Vulcans, and they can reset Buchanan jab step. Another one, pass it off, finds Whitehead. Whitehead looking to conduct the Vulcan offense here. Gets the screen from Alexander. Finds Hannah at the top of the key, pump fake. Hannah now driving inside, off the glass, no good. And a rebound that time by Brooks.
IUP doing a great job switching on the screens at the top of the key, not giving these California shooters any room.
Marraro inside, gets held up. The three ball that time by Grove is good. He's able to knock that one down. IUP 7, California 4, 17 minutes and running here in the first half. Polak on the near side wing, looking for an option, finds Alexander in the corner. Alexander with some space takes a three-pointer and gets the roll to go. Dalman Alexander, not the three-point specialist that we see on this team, but knocks down the three there.
No, this California team puts up a lot of three-pointers, and he found himself in a whole bunch of space out up top, and nobody contested him, so he just said, heck with it, I'm going to put this up.
Yeah, why not? Makes the shot. Grove underneath. Gets that one swatted away by Alexander, but the ball ends up in possession of IUP. 2-on-1 the other way. Buchanan Euro step in the lane, finger roll and in. Jordan Buchanan with an early 4 points here for the Vulcans.
A great job catching IUP sleeping on that rebound, able to get out in transition and get ahead of the IUP guards.
Yeah, Buchanan, 6'4", freshman from Pensacola, Florida, and graduate of Robert A. Taft High School in Ohio. Like I said, playing some key minutes for the Vulcans this season. Marraro on the far side, getting double teamed, able to split the defense, nearly falls to the floor, keeps his dribble alive, and a fadeaway jumper from Kaimani Marraro is good.
Wow, what a play from Marraro, able to keep his balance, Harlem Globetrotter-esque, able to dribble on one knee, spinning around.
Whitehead now inside, hop step, the long two, that one way off the mark, and Marraro able to grab the rebound. Now the Crimson Hawks in transition. Marraro driving into the paint, gets that one blocked away by Polak. 3-on-2 the other way for the Vulcans. Hannah inside, off the glass and in, and the Vulcans torching IUP in transition the last couple of possessions.
That's a good dish from Whitehead, handing it off to Hannah. Let the big man get ahead of steam going downhill in the paint.
You got to let them go to work there. California 11, IUP 9, 15-14 remaining in the first half. Moore on the far side, driving inside, finds some space, and able to knock down the long two. Whitehead in possession for the Vulcans, past the timeline here, as we're now under 15 minutes to play. Buchanan for three, why not? That one off the front of the rim, no good, rebounded by Moore. Now the Crimson Hawks looking to push the tempo the other way. Fortune in the lane, floater no good, offensive board once more by the Crimson Hawks. Demir Brooks with the finish.
Yeah, Brooks again on the offensive glass, able to put it home. Seen him do that a couple times already.
Polak on the far side, guarded by Moore. Finds Alexander in the corner. This time decides to shoot the three again. He made the first one, doesn't make it that time, but Polak gets the offensive rebound off the glass and in, and not the biggest man underneath the basket, but it's all about the dog in the fight.
Yeah, a little bit of role reversal with Polak getting the rebound off of the Buchanan three. But great job boxing out, able to high point the ball and get it back up for the two.
I guess it's not the dog in the fight, it's the fight in the dog, and that time Polak able to make the most of it. Fadeaway by Grove, no good, and a foul called on the floor. I believe this one will go against the Crimson Hawks, and that will take us to our first media timeout. 14 minutes exactly on the clock, 13-13 the score. And so far, what have you been seeing from this California offense looking to bounce back after that loss on Saturday?
Yeah, we mentioned Whitehead struggled in the second half against Edinboro, and the step back mid-range shot that he chose to take, that's not the kind of shots you want to see him taking. You want to see him under control and get the shots that he's comfortable taking, get him back in a rhythm, and kind of ease him into this game, let him get hot.
And while we have a second, you can take a look at the screen of the team stat leaders here for your California Vulcans. And like you mentioned, Whitehead, one of the leaders in this clubhouse in almost all aspects, and one that the Vulcans are going to need to get going if they want to have any say in this game.
Yeah, Whitehead's a good scorer off the bounce and off the screens up top, able to hit the three ball really well. He's shooting 40% on the year from deep, and like we said, with these good switches from IUP out on the perimeter, they're not really giving the California guards much room to shoot here early in this one.
Yeah, Polak and Whitehead on the season have made a combined 74 threes in 184 attempts. That's a pretty good clip, if you ask me, and those are the two leading scorers for California this season, and two that they're going to need to get hot as much of their offense runs through both of them on the season. 41.5 points per game combined between the two.
Yeah, definitely the two leaders on this squad offensively, and we saw Buchanan chuck up a couple threes to start off this game, and you saw in his last one, IUP's just willing to let him take those deep shots and see if he can put any of them home.
So after the media timeout, the foul on the floor was against Alexander, his first, the team's first. Back underway as it's Brooks inside, ran into the wall of Alexander, passes it back out. Marraro looking for some space. Nice pass inside, finds Brooks high off the glass, can't get the roll, and Alexander able to grab the rebound for the Vulcans. Whitehead now in transition for California, slowing things back up, brings it back towards the center circle. 13:34 remaining here in the first half. Teams all square at 13 apiece. Hannah finds Buchanan on the far side. Whitehead in the corner, driving inside, finds Alexander, the moving two, no good, rebounded by Fortune.
Yeah, again, Whitehead just not able to find any space.
And the Vulcans able to strip that one away from Fortune on the drive. Polak ends up with it. California now in transition. Shovel pass right over to Polak, the three-pointer, no good, but Polak so good at drawing the fouls. He hits the deck, and Cam Polak is going to make his way to the line shooting three.
Yeah, good job by Polak finding some space for the moment. And just a sloppy closeout from IUP drawing the foul.
Polak on the season shooting 95.7% from the free throw line, 44 for 46 on the season. One of the purest shooters in every sense of the form first free throw is up, and just as we talk about it, misses the first.
Well, he's not 100%, but he is really good from the charity stripe, and free throws are so important in the game of basketball today. You see the best scorers are always the ones who can shoot very well from the free throw line, and it can decide some outcomes of games, especially late.
Substitution made by the Crimson Hawks as Polak makes 2/3 of the three free throws. Luke Triggs, the 6'7" junior forward from Gainesville, Virginia, a transfer from Mercyhurst after their move up to Division I into the game here for the Crimson Hawks. Fortune gets it back out to Triggs. And Ian Herring, who also checked in during that media timeout, the freshman from Swickley, PA. Mararo now, nice crossover. Just trying to spin move in the lane. Fadeaway jumper is good, and a beautiful play that time by Kaimani Mararo.
And Mararo's real shifty, real good off the bounce, and he's able to create space with or without the ball in his hands.
Up against a bigger defender, he's able to convert. Hannah now on the far side wing. Finds Buchanan in the corner, repositions the three ball from Buchanan's good, and 7 points now for Jordan Buchanan early in this game.
And Buchanan, as we mentioned, not the best three-point shooter, but he'll definitely put some up, and he's able to knock down a couple early in this one.
7 points for him. 3-point lead for the Vulcans, 18-15, just over 12 to play here in the first half. Moore in possession, driving in the lane, high off the glass, no good. This is able to blow by Buchanan. It's going to be Buchanan picking up his first foul, and that'll take us to a media timeout with 11:57 remaining here in the first half of play. So Moore will make his way to the line, and while we have a second, we can take a look at the Crimson Hawks leaders this season. One second, waiting for the official transition over. There we go. IUP team leaders on the season. On the year here for the Crimson Hawks, Christian Moore will make his way to the line. 17 points per game, the leading scorer here for IUP. Also leading them in minutes, 33.6 minutes, nearly playing the full 40 every single time out. Demir Brooks, 7.5 rebounds per game, and we've already seen him a couple times crash that offensive glass and cause a couple of concerns for the Vulcans early on.
Yeah, as we mentioned at the open, rebounding is going to be crucial in this one. Who can control the pace of the game, and IUP doing a great job early in this one on the offensive glass, able to give themselves some second chance opportunities.
And after the media timeout, which is just about to finish here, IUP already with 4 offensive boards compared to the Vulcans 2. And a substitution made by the Vulcans coming into the game for them. Number 5, Keandre DeShields, the 6'3" freshman guard from Uniontown, Pennsylvania, the local lad from Laurel Highlands High School. Checks in for the first time. Had himself a very good showing in that game against Edinburgh on Saturday. And it will be Christian Moore at the line. He's able to make the first. The junior from Suffolk, Virginia, a graduate of Hargrave Military Academy and a transfer from the University of New Hampshire. Maybe a former teammate of former California Vulcan KJ McClurg, who also spent some time at the University of New Hampshire before making his way here to the Vulcans, as Moore knocks down the pair, cuts it to a 1-point game. And IUP starting to apply a little bit of pressure here against California. The Vulcans looking to break the press. Polak across the timeline, finds Whitehead, pump fake, finds Hannah on the far side wing. Sides the drive baseline, spins back out. Buchanan in some crowded space gets that one tipped away and nearly falls back, but IUP able to collect. Mararo now is able to find Triggs. Moore on the near side, guarded by Hannah. Moore driving inside, step back from the free throw line, that time too strong. DeShields grabs the rebound for California.
IUP doing a good job of recognizing and diagnosing some mismatches for California on the defensive end.
Hannah pass finds Buchanan wide open in the corner for three, and Buchanan makes another one. Double digits already for Jordan Buchanan. 10 points and a 4-point lead for California.
Yeah, you got to think that was a game plan coming into this one to get Buchanan some open looks. Must have been hot in practice or something this week.
Yeah, 10 points for him. A 4-point lead, just under 11 minutes to play here in the first half. Triggs hands it off to Moore. Three-pointer in response, and he answers. 9 points now for Moore. Whitehead finds DeShields on the far side. DeShields working inside, draws some contact, can't get the finish, and the loose ball bounces all around, ends up in the hands of IUP, and now in transition, it's Herring driving to the lane, blocked away that time by Polak. Another one, another rejection from the guard.
Boy, he got up for that one, didn't he?
Just able to smack that one off the glass, but IUP maintained possession. Marraro now just trying to create some space, draws the foul up against Buchanan, who's going to pick up his second early on here in this first half.
Yeah, Buchanan just not really moving his feet off the screen switch, and Moore able to draw the foul.
A substitution will come in for the Vulcans. Duncan Moy will come in for the first time here for California in place of Buchanan, the 6'4 freshman from Kinsman, Ohio. And a double substitution for the Crimson Hawks, one of them being Alfonso Pickens Jr., the 6'2 junior guard from Erie. Moore found some space. The three ball, that time no good. Whitehead grabbed the rebound for the Vulcans. Whitehead now past the timeline, finds Moy. Back out to Whitehead. Hannah on the near side had some space, takes the three. That one too strong. And a fight for the rebound. It's going to come off of a Crimson Hawk and go out of play. Will be California basketball.
Yeah, California being forced into some shots that they don't really, I think, want to take early in this one. Some uncharacteristic three balls being put up by guys that you don't really see put up a three.
And Polak off the screen. That time no good. Rebounded by Brooks. Ian Herring now in transition for the Crimson Hawks into the lane. Off that shot, no good. DeShields able to grab the rebound for California. 2-on-3 the other way. DeShields keeps it himself, drives into the lane, and gets that one poked out by Moore, and it will be California basketball. Substitution being made for the Crimson Hawks.
As we mentioned early in the game, California taking advantage of IUP in transition on offense, and IUP kind of flipped the script these last couple possessions.
Inbounded to Hannah, finds DeShields on the far side now. Whitehead at the top of the key. Polak inside, a long two for Cam Polak. That one off the mark, no good. Moore now finds Herring. Back up top to Moore, guarded by DeShields. Gets a switch on to Hannah. Fortune, who just checked back into the game here for IUP, driving inside. Nice move, passes it back out to Pickens. Pickens Jr. on the drive inside. Nice bounce pass, but that one poked away by Polak again. Another defensive impact as he pokes that one away from Alfonso Pickens Jr.
Yeah, Polak yet to get very many looks on offense, but he's definitely making his presence felt on the defensive end with some nice hands.
Yeah, 6'2", 185, not the defensive forces. Whitehead inside, and that's going to be a travel as he just got caught between two minds there, between the shot and the pass, and made his decision too late.
Yeah, it went up and got the ball knocked loose, but still had possession of it and came back down, but he still didn't really have a good grasp on the ball. He was trying to get rid of it, but couldn't really get a handle on it until he already hit the ground again.
8:23 remaining here in the first half. 21-20, California with the lead. Brooks hands it off to Moore. Another three ball, that time off the mark, no good. And another offensive rebound by the Crimson Hawks. 4-2, and the fadeaway jumper, no good. And that one tipped out of bounds by Brooks as he was trying to follow up. California basketball, another substitution. IUP not unwilling to make these substitutions. Kaimani Marraro checking back in here for the Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, with the aggressive style that they like to play on defense, it certainly helps to keep some fresh legs, and they're doing that early and often.
Whitehead in possession, just under 8 to play. DeShields on the near side finds Hannah in the post. Looking to go to work, pump fake. Hannah now driving inside with the right hook. Gets the roll to go, and Caden Hannah with an early 6 points here for the Vulcans.
Yeah, Hannah almost lost that one it was good defense and didn't really have a whole lot of room, but a nice elevation over the top with the right hand.
Like you mentioned earlier, sometimes you got to get the shooter's roll, and that time Hannah did. Pickens Jr. in possession, a wide open three by Marraro, and that's nothing but net from Kaimani Marraro. 7 points now for him.
As we mentioned, California needing to do a good job of getting their guards in open space for some open looks, and IUP's doing a fantastic job of that early in this one.
Whitehead finds Hannah. Back out to Whitehead. Deep three from the Don. High bounce, but no good. Ian Herring able to grab the rebound, and Moy nearly able to steal that one away, almost falling out of bounds. And another immediate timeout with just over 7 minutes to play. 7:03 remaining here in the first half. Game all square at 23 apiece. And like we were talking about it before the game, much of the offense runs between these two stars for California, the backcourt duo between Whitehead and Alexander. And so far, IUP doing a good job at keeping them quiet.
Yeah, only a combined 4 points, and that's only come off the hand of Cam Polak early in this one. Whitehead yet to get on the board, but as we mentioned, IUP doing a great job of being really aggressive on the defensive end and not giving these guards any room to work, and that was obviously a point of emphasis coming into this one because there haven't really been many open looks for much of anybody besides Buchanan, who's taken advantage of a couple of threes, being the only Vulcan in double figures so far.
IUP on the season holding teams to 42% from the field. And if you're able to play some strong defense like that, you're going to start to win more games often than not. And this coaching rivalry is one that can be a blockbuster seller on its own. Coach Sankum in his 7th season in charge of California. Coach Lombardi for the Crimson Hawks in his 19th season in charge. And I will say Coach Lombardi for IUP, they've had a ton of success, a lot of late runs into the season, Elite 8, Final 4, even a national championship game appearance, but haven't been able to quite make that hurdle. But these two coaches, two of the PSAC's best.
Yeah, really good, stable organizations that they've been able to run over these last 10 years or so. And especially with IUP, they've had some exceptionally good teams just run into some slightly better ones in the NCAA tournament.
And it wasn't until last year where California was finally able to beat IUP for the first time in almost a decade of basketball here. Now we're back underway. Pickens Jr. now in possession, finds Marraro up top, 10 on the shot clock here for the Crimson Hawks. Behind the back crossover, Marraro driving inside, step back. The jumper is good, and he had the Don on his knees.
Yeah, great step back crossover by Moore to create space from Whitehead. And California's bench was looking for a push-off, but there really wasn't a whole lot there.
Whitehead picked up his dribble, finds Moy. Moy pump fake, driving inside, pass out, finds Buchanan. Or not Buchanan, excuse me, Alexander. Polak now pump fake, driving in the lane, hop step off the glass and in. Great drive and finish that time by Cam Polak.
Hey, you said it, partner. Great drive and finish. Polak able to hop through a couple IUP defenders and put it home with the right hand.
Game all square, 25, just under 6 minutes to play. Marraro, pump fake in the lane. Nice pass and finds Fortune wide open underneath the basket. We've seen a couple of 50 plays by the freshman guard from Canada.
And Marraro with a phenomenal no-look dish underneath.
Whitehead with a long two, able to knock that one down and finally gets the lid off the basket here. His first bucket of the game. Things all square now at 27.
Yeah, with a scorer as talented as Whitehead, he's just got to see a couple go in to get his confidence back.
Pickens finds Brooks at the top of the key, has some space, looking for an option to pass to, finds Marraro on the near side. Brooks slips the screen, gets that one tipped away by Moy. The Vulcans now in transition. Moy, pass off, finds Polak driving into the lane. Off the glass, can't get it to go, but Cam Polak is going to make his way back to the free throw line.
Yeah, California did a great job there of converging towards the basket on that pass down low and creating essentially a double team and not really giving IUP very many options for a kick out. And Polak did a great job in transition of following it up, getting a chance to go to the line.
during that last media timeout, a substitution for the Vulcans, number 32, Eli Brooks, the 6'7" the 6'7" sophomore forward from Glasgow, Kentucky, checked in for the Vulcans as Polak makes the first, and 2 more substitutions here for the Crimson Hawks as Christian Moore and Ian Herring will check back into the game for IUP. California with a 1-point lead. Polak can make it 2 here at the line, and he does so. 8 points for him, 2-point lead for California. Polak, after the 2 made free throws, is going to make his way to the bench. Keandre DeShields will check back in for California. Just over 5 minutes left to play in the first half from the Convocation Center. California up by 2. Christian Moore now in possession. Grove looking to go against Moy. Able to get Brooks to jump, but unable to make the shot. DeShields with another strong rebound.
Yeah, tried the rip through to gain some space and kind of lost his footing. Unbalanced shot.
DeShields with a 3-ball, and that one's good from Keandre DeShields. His first basket of the game gives the Vulcans a 5-point cushion. Like I said, the local lad. I was just teaching there the last semester at Laurel Highlands. Mustang pride here for California. Moore on the near side. Gets it inside to Brooks, hands it off back to Moore. Another 3-pointer in response, and he does exactly that. Another one for him. 12 points now. They're actually, I think they're going to say it was a 3. Thought maybe it was a long 2, but 12 points now for Moore. Whitehead finds Brooks in the corner. A straight pass. Whitehead able to collect. Whitehead on the drive. Alexander thought about the 3, now looking to post up. Finds Moy at the top of the key. Takes the 3-ball. That one too strong. Rebounded by Herring. The Crimson Hawks in transition. Brooks wide open underneath, and the jam home. Nobody back on defense that time, and Brooks with an easy basket.
Yeah, Moy, after the missed 3-pointer, kind of got lost trying to communicate whose man was whose, and then lost his man in transition.
The mid-range 2 from DeShields, no good, and IUP, nice behind-the-back pass. Grove for the 3-ball and the lead. IUP now up by 3 after some flashy play that time.
We've been talking a lot about the guards for California being good distributors and point scorers for this Vulcans offense, and the 2 guards doing a great job of dishing it out and putting it home for IUP as well.
Missed that time by Brooks, and IUP has a chance to push it a little bit as Marraro driving inside will draw the foul against Whitehead, the team's 4th, his first, and that'll take us to immediate timeout with 3:04 left to play here in the first half. IUP up by 3, 35-32. And we can take a look and have a discussion about the PSAC West standings. We mentioned them earlier on. It's really Gannon and then the Pack, and when it's so tightly contested like that, every single win really matters.
Yeah, only 3 losses separating the number 2 ranked Slippery Rock in the conference and the team bringing up the rear in Clarion. And as you said, it's Gannon in the Pack, and although these 2 teams in this contest here had exceptionally high hopes coming into the season, and as we mentioned before we came on air, kind of underwhelming seasons for both sides, there's still a lot of season left to go. As you mentioned, this being the last game in the first half of the conference schedule, there's still plenty of runway left for both of these teams to make a good push and potentially get a good seed for the conference championship or even get into it at all.
Yeah, I believe it's the top. I don't know how it's going to work now without the presence of Mercyhurst filling out the rest of it. I know originally I think it was the top 4, or I think it was the top 6 made it into the playoffs, into the conference playoffs, but I don't know how much of a change without having Mercyhurst in the conference as they transition up to Division I makes. But like we mentioned, only a 3-game separation between last place and second place, so really anything can happen in California with a tough stretch of games here. Obviously today against IUP, then on Saturday host the Golden Knights in first place here at the Convocation Center.
Yeah, that's what makes this game that much more important, to try to get a game back on IUP and then potentially Gannon if they can close that one out in a few days.
Marrero at the line makes the first, shooting about 77% from the free throw line on the season. He's able to knock down the first 10 points now for him. Second free throw attempt is no good. And IUP with a 4-point lead, 36-32, just over 3 minutes left to play. And IUP bringing some pressure after the media timeout and a foul on the floor as Polak was trying to dribble away.
As you mentioned, the change in the conference with the departure of Mercyhurst, it left an even number of teams on both sides, as there was an even number of teams in the West, but odd number in the East.
Whitehead fouled on the mid-range jumper, so the Don will make his way to the free throw line. That one will go against Herring, his first, the team's third. Donald Whitehead Jr. at the free throw line for California.
Yeah, that was good to see from Whitehead deciding to drive the lane and draw the foul. You like to see confidence out of your point scorers, and that drive right there tells me that he's not thinking about whether he's going to miss or not. He still wants to score every time he touches the ball.
Whitehead makes the first, doesn't make the second, but Caden Hanna able to grab the offensive rebound. And the loose ball, he's able to save it and finds DeShields at the top of the key. Hanna, a couple of jab steps, pump fake, now driving inside, finds Polak on the far side. Polak takes the screen, gets the switch. Polak driving in the lane, high off the glass and in, and a great finish. And a three-point swing for the Vulcans as Polak now has double digits.
Yeah, Hanna had a great save on the baseline to keep that possession alive. It looked like it might have bounced on the baseline, but the referee was in good position, said it was in.
California now down by one. Marraro now pump fake, driving the lane, blocked away by Alexander as he was trailing just behind, and I believe his Instagram handle was Slinky. Calls him for a reason. He's just so long and able to get that 6'7". He's 6'7" tall, arguably a little bit longer in the wingspan, able to utilize all of that right there.
Yeah, just looking at him, you could definitely tell a little bit longer than 6'7".
IUP still with possession, 8 seconds on the shot clock. California sending the double team Marraro's way, and he nearly loses the handle on it. 4 now. Marraro needs to get a shot off. A deep three, that one way off the mark, and a shot clock violation against the Crimson Hawks, and some great California defense that time.
Yeah, good job by California, able to halt this IUP offensive momentum and get a stop on the defensive end with hopes of taking the lead here on this possession.
Yeah, Basket takes the lead here. 1 point game, 36-35. Whitehead under some pressure finds DeShields, but DeShields lost the handle on it, and a battle for the loose ball will result in a jump ball. The possession error favoring the Vulcans, so DeShields in California, maybe with a little bit of luck that time, as it will be California ball. 1:46 remaining. Polak to inbound. Whitehead now in possession. 15 on the shot clock here for the Vulcans. Hanna at the elbow, looking for an option. Finds Whitehead. Whitehead a couple jab steps. Now driving inside, bouncing back, trying to dish it off to Alexander. Off his ankle is no good, and that'll be a shot clock violation in favor of the Vulcans this time.
Yeah, Whitehead's doing a good job of moving without the ball, trying to create some space, but IUP's doing an even better job of staying with him and not giving him any room to breathe.
Some smothering defense by the Crimson Hawks as we're under a minute and a half to play in the first half. IUP with a 1 point lead. Fortune in possession. Gets it to Moore on the near side corner. Back out to Fortune, brings it back towards the center circle, looking to run the offense. Fortune driving inside, gets that one stolen away from Whitehead. 2-on-1 the other way. Whitehead takes it himself, can't get it to go, but DeShields follows up. DeShields fouled on the second chance attempt, and Keandre DeShields will make his way to the line.
That was good defense going straight up and not into the body of Whitehead on that initial attempt, but DeShields does a great job of following up the rebound and able to draw the foul on the putback attempt.
3 points for DeShields on the afternoon. His first time at the free throw line. Was able to knock down the first. On the season, shooting 71% from the free throw line. Second shot from DeShields is good, and California now with the 1 point lead themselves, as we're now under 1 minute left to play here in the first half. Moraro, some fancy dribble moves. Moraro posting up. The 3-ball by Fortune finds the bottom of the barrel, and another 3-ball by the Crimson Hawks now with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, Moraro with his elusiveness and explosiveness early in this one. Great drive by Whitehead, able to finish.
And he took the words right out of my mouth. A great drive by Whitehead, just downhill and able to finish with the left hand off the glass. Things all square at 39. About a 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And IUP will take a timeout with 23.4 seconds left, because the rule is if you don't take it, you lose it. So IUP will take a timeout, stop the clock. On your screen now, you see President John Anderson, the newly elected president of the Penn West campuses, here in support tonight of California. And like we mentioned, it's such a big game between two kind of storied schools, where you see the football matchup, obviously the one that draws everybody's eyes in that rivalry, but this basketball one in the last couple of years starting to heat up, and one where if you are a neutral fan, you want to tune in to watch.
Yeah, the matchups about 5 years ago or so were a lot more one-sided than they have been in recent memory. And as a fellow athlete, but not obviously on the basketball team, we always keep tabs on this particular matchup, because it is always so important in the conference standings as well as potentially national standings.
And it's always nice to have the support. You have the band here, you have the cheerleaders, you have the dance squad, and you have the president of the university here in attendance. So obviously everybody in the area must think this is a high-stake matchup that they got to be a part of. And after the timeout, Christian Moore in possession. Moraro now 8 on the shot clock. IUP looking to go now. Little give and go. Moraro 4 on the shot clock. They need to get a shot off. Moraro up against Polak. The contested 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Polak at the buzzer, off the mark and no good. I don't even think it would have counted either way, but that's the end of the first half, and we're still where we started, all tied up, 39 apiece. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back for second half coverage right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates the athletic and academic excellence of its student-athletes. Last year, over 4,000 achieved at least a 3.25 GPA to earn recognition as a PSAC Scholar Athlete. Athletically, over 70 PSAC teams qualified for the NCAA championships. Champions on the field, champions in the classroom, making the PSAC proud.
20 minutes remaining here in the Convocation Center, and it's anyone's game to play for. 39-39 is the score. We have some second half coverage between California and IUP. Still John Sape and Adam Crawford here with you. Adam, it was a great first half, and before we can maybe jump into the stats, I want to wish you a happy birthday. It was your birthday yesterday. You said 22nd birthday. How are you feeling?
Yeah, the old 22, and the body feels it definitely, especially at practice today. I was walking around with a little limp and a little tightness in the back, but no, I feel good. It was nice to hear some people I haven't talked to in a while wish me a happy birthday. But shout out mom and dad. Hi. Yeah, it was. And this guy here, Director James, here today, fellow teammate of mine on the baseball team. He was one of the first happy birthday wishes.
Well, happy birthday, happy 22nd. As a fellow 22-year-old, it's nice to have you in the club.
Thank you. It feels good to be here.
And it was a great first half of basketball where we're still at a deadlock, 39 apiece, and a couple of stats to talk about. I think the biggest one in terms of individual players, it's really been a two-man show for IUP. Christian Moore and Kaimani Mararo have really taken the reins here for the Crimson Hawk offense.
Yeah, we were mentioning in the open the importance of getting these two guards for California going offensively, and Polak started to heat up at the end of the first half, but these two guards for IUP doing a great job of creating separation and finding some open looks, whether they're down low for themselves or for others out on the three-point line. They're doing a great job of passing the ball around and keeping the defense guessing as to who's going to take the shot.
And with a game that's even, the stats are almost about as even as you can get. Both teams in that first half, 15 made shots in the first half for IUP, 14 for California. The real difference is California's had 7 free throws made compared to 3. Both teams flip sides, and now we're back underway. IUP with the first possession of the second half. And an offensive foul immediately called against Christian Moore, set for the moving screen. Team's first of the half, just under 6 seconds.
Yeah, pretty clean first half in terms of fouls on both sides, but didn't waste any time finding one here in the second half.
Hannah that time telegraphed the pass, and Moore is able to steal that one away. Grove, the long two, no good. And a long rebound ends up in the hands of Moore. Moore now gets a switch on to Alexander. Moore inside, fakes it. The right-handed hook, no good. Polak secures the rebound for the Vulcans. Whitehead picks up his dribble, has to pass it off to Hannah in the near side corner. Whitehead crossover, step back, long two off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Fortune.
Yeah, Whitehead's still unable to really get anything going offensively, but he's been taking some better looks.
Fortune now pump fake. Spin move in the lane, off the glass, no good. And another loose ball. And a couple of Vulcans running over each other, and they're going to say that came last off of Fortune and out of bounds at Fortune for IUP. A little slow to get up.
Yeah, kind of a mad scramble there trying to get that loose ball. California trying to get back in transition, and IUP trying to save it.
Just a crowded end of the court right over there in front of the Crimson Hawk bench, and it will be California basketball looking for the first points of the second half. Alexander, backdoor cut, finds Polak with the left hand and in. Nice pass by Alexander and a great finish by Polak.
Great movement by Polak, moving downhill along the baseline, and a great find by Buchanan.
12 points now for Cam. California up by 2. Mararo behind the back crossover. Gets the screen, now trying to dump it inside to Brooks. Brooks lost the handle of it, but somehow Fortune able to collect it. Alexander able to get a piece of it, and Dahlman all alone. Can't get the dunk to go. A little bit late on the jump, and now in transition. Moore for 3. That one too strong. Fortune with the offensive board. Mararo for 3 now. That one too strong, and another offensive board, that time by Grove. Fortune on the near side finds Brooke in the post. And Brooks had the mismatch, but California able to get the switch on to Hannah. Fortune now Grove, 6 on the shot clock, pump fake, behind the back crossover, Brooks, step back, that time no good. And another offensive rebound saved by Brooks that time, off the miss by Grove, and a kick ball violation will be IUP basketball.
Yeah, going back to the missed dunk attempt by Alexander, he came up a little bit lame, looked like his knee was kind of bothering him as he jogged back down the court, but great defense by Buchanan, staying with number 20, Tyler Grove, who was trying to create some separation.
And after all that, IUP still has the basketball. 17:42 remaining here in the second half. Grove on the inbound. Had Buchanan slipping a little bit. Now Grove looking to back him down. Fadeaway jumper. No good. And another offensive rebound. That's 4 or 5 in a row for IUP. It's going to come to fruition as Fortune draws the foul, and he's going to make his way to the line.
It's just a weak job from California boxing out underneath these IUP guards, just crashing the boards and able to jump up through basically no contact and grab these rebounds.
And that's 5 offensive rebounds on the bounce there for the Crimson Hawks as Fortune able to knock down the first. We talked about it at the beginning of the game, just how important that rebounding battle will be for either team in California, showing why that was an issue, an issue of a piece of concern coming into the matchup. Game all square at 41. Buchanan finds Whitehead and wing 3, and that one is good. And the Don able to knock down the first 3 of the game for him.
Great ball movement from California. We talked about getting Whitehead an open look, and there it was, and he's able to drain his first 3 of the contest.
California with a 3-point lead, 44-41, just over 17 minutes left to play. Marraro gets the screen, trying to turn the corner, and he does. Pass out, finds Moore for 3. That time can't respond. And another offensive board for the Crimson Hawks. Demir Brooks makes the Vulcans pay.
A great box out by Brooks, able to just go up and get it.
Whitehead trying to power dribble, move inside, draws the foul. He'll stay on the floor, blocking foul up against Demir Brooks, his second. And Fortune, who was a little slow to get up earlier, limping off to the bench as Ian Herring checks into the game for him. And another substitution. Brooks will come out after picking up his 3rd foul. And in the game will be number 10, Luke Triggs, for the Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, Fortune works his way over to the athletic training staff, pointing at his hip.
And Alexander will check out of the game for California. And Keandre DeShields will check in for the Vulcans. Polak off the inbound. The moving 3 is good from Cam Polak.
A great screen, able to give him some separation and find a wide open 3 in the corner.
2 for 5 now from behind the arc for Cam Polak. Pump fake at the top of the key from Triggs. He's able to get it to Grove. Grove now trying to work against Buchanan. Finds more on the far side up against Whitehead. Moore, 7 on the shot clock. 3 ball is good, and that was as pure of a finish as you can see. Nothing but net from Christian Moore.
He's got such a quick release. That's why you have to stay up in his grill, but he's been able to find some space and able to get that shot off clean.
Hanna, a 3 ball in response, and a foul on the floor as Buchanan was able to get the offensive rebound, tips it out to Polak. And that one's going to go against Kaimani Marraro. And that'll take us to the media timeout. Marraro picks up his first, the team's 3rd. 15:59 remaining. California 47, IUP 46. And while we have a second, we can take a look once again. Waiting to see what the production team here has in store for us to put on the screen so we can talk about. I believe it's the PSAC West standings, and like we mentioned, it's really Gannon and then all the rest, and we cannot emphasize enough, such a huge game, as one win can jump you up a few rankings, one loss can bump you down a few ranks, and rankings just the same.
Yeah, especially if you're able to, as a California fan, hoping that they can pull out a win over IUP, able to get even with them as well as have the tiebreaker over them head-to-head, at least until they meet later in this season. And hopefully you can control your own destiny in this conference and not hope for needing a whole bunch of help later in the season, because that's always the worst feeling as a player, knowing that you're doing everything you can but still not getting the results to get to the destination you want to get to.
Like you said, I think the key word there is controlling your own destiny, and that's something that last year we saw the Vulcans do pretty easily. It was them and Gannon in a battle all season, and California just couldn't get the better of them in the conference championship game, and was missed on a rematch in the Elite Eight against Gannon as they fell short here at the Convocation Center against Charleston, West Virginia last year here during that March Madness season. In California, like you mentioned, both teams maybe a departure from where their expectations were at the beginning of the season, but two teams still with a lot to play for here. And after the foul, Polak another three off the inbound. That one no good. Another offensive rebound, this time by Buchanan. And Buchanan is able to finish at the rim.
Great job being aggressive by Buchanan, not only going up and getting the rebound, but also finishing to the basket and not just trying to fade away from contact.
12 points now for Jordan Buchanan. More pump fake, spinning away from DeShields now. Driving baseline, has some possession underneath, gets that one knocked away by DeShields, but Moore will pick up the foul. First for DeShields, second of the half for California.
DeShields had great defense, moving his feet, staying with Moore, but then Moore did a great job of driving underneath the hoop to give himself a look outside of it and kind of leave DeShields on his back, making DeShields have to reach over him and draw the foul.
Moore 3 for 3 now from the free throw line. And a game-high 16 points for him in this contest. IUP leading scorer on the season, makes the pair, averaging 17 points per game, and now 17 on the dot for him. IUP still down by one, and they're looking to apply some more pressure to California. Polak able to break the press as he gets it to Hanna past the timeline. Whitehead now conducting the Vulcan offense. Whitehead looking for DeShields to set him a screen. Whitehead now back towards the top of the key. Whitehead driving inside, finds Hanna at the top of the three. His shot no good. And the rebound by DeShields is going to come off of him out of play, IUP basketball.
Yeah, IUP willing to let Hanna go ahead and take those open looks from three, as he's not statistically the best three-point shooter on this roster.
Sometimes when you're open, you just got to let it fly, and that time just unable to find the mark. Shooting a little under 30% on the season from behind the arc. Groves able to get it to Triggs underneath. Finds Moore. DeShields trailing him around. Switch on to Hanna. Moore driving in the lane. Hesitation with the right hand, no good. Buchanan grabs the board for California. Up ahead to Whitehead. The Vulcans move quickly now. Whitehead picked up his dribble, has to find an option. Gets it to Buchanan, now back to Whitehead. California now slowing things down. Whitehead takes the three ball. No good. Another fight for the rebound. And Cam Polak does just enough to force a tip off of an IUP player out of bounds. Whitehead to inbound for the Vulcans. We've seen them run this play a couple of times, but Whitehead now at the top of the key with some space. Another three ball in response, no good. A rebound by Moore.
Yeah, Whitehead still doing a good job of trying to work hard and find some open space to let that shot fly.
Grove now trying to dump it down into the post. Ends up off the front of the rim. California with the basketball. DeShields now in the lane. Hop step off the glass, no good. He's able to grab his own rebound up for his second chance. Gets it to go, and the foul. And Keandre DeShields with a high effort play can reward himself with a three-point play at the line.
Yeah, great work down low, going over some IUP defenders to grab that second rebound. Didn't corral it on the first try, but able to stick with it, and then a good pivot back towards the basket and went up strong to potentially have himself a three-point play.
7 points, 5 boards for Keandre DeShields, in this game already. 3-point lead for California. DeShields can make it 4. Unable to do so as three-point play not converted. California 51, IUP 48, 13:53 remaining here in the second half. Marraro finds Moore. Bounce pass over to Triggs. Handoff back to Moore with some space. The three-pointer, no good, and a long rebound finds its way to Whitehead. 3-on-2 the other way. Whitehead inside, keeps it himself, no good. And DeShields on the follow-up, gets it to go, and the foul again. And Keandre DeShields with another chance at a three-point play.
That's the second time in this one we've seen DeShields do a great job in transition of following up the shot. And Whitehead unable to convert, but DeShields right there for the putback.
Right place, right time. That's all you need. 5 fouls now for IUP. California inching ever closer to the bonus. Shields converts the three-point play this time. Double digits now for him. 10 points, 6 rebounds. And a 6-point California lead. 13:30 remaining in the second half. Marraro gets the switch onto DeShields. Conducting the Crimson Hawk offense now. Switch on to Hannah. Marraro so shifty, working inside, fading away over top of Hannah and finds the bottom of the basket.
What a shot. That is not easy, spinning away from the basket with your on your offhand. But Marraro doing a great job of getting it up and over Hannah.
Hannah now on the far side corner, finds DeShields near the top of the key. Hannah now calling him in, driving baseline, spinning, looking for an option. That one's stolen away by Grove, is able to get the hand on it. IUP now in transition. Marraro driving the lane, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Whitehead back in transition, draws the charge, and great recovery defense that time by the Vulcans.
Yeah, Whitehead got himself into position, and Marraro, referees are saying just a little bit out of control, lowering his shoulder into the chest of Whitehead. And he did a great job of drawing the charge and selling it.
Marraro pick up his second. IUP pick up their sixth. If California is able to draw this seventh foul, they'll be in the bonus the rest of the way in this second half, which could be huge come the last couple of minutes of the game. Dolman Alexander checks back in for the Vulcans. Polak gets it back up top to Whitehead. Whitehead crossover, right-handed from the elbow, no good. An offensive rebound this time by Alexander finds Whitehead at the top of the key. The three ball, that one just short, rebounded by Marraro. Marraro pass up ahead, and great defense once again by Whitehead, able to just get a hand on it and tip that pass out of play intended for Herring.
Yeah, you can definitely tell California's trying to get Whitehead some open looks, and they did get him 2 pretty good shot opportunities, but unable to put any of them away, and does a great job in transition defense getting a hand on that outlet pass.
The Vulcans shooting 30% from 3, 6 for 20, and Whitehead missed a couple of them more on the drive inside. DeShields got a hand on it and poked it away, but will be called for the foul after the Christian Moore drive. And they're going to say that was in the shooting motion, so Christian Moore is going to make his way back to the line. Two shots for Moore. 4 for 4 on the afternoon, make it 5 for 5. So he knocks down the first. Moore can make it a 2-point game here if he's able to knock down the free throw off the front of the rim and off the back of the glass and in. 54-52, just over 12 minutes to play. And IUP continuing to apply a little bit of pressure. Polak able to split as he crosses the timeline. A prayer caught by DeShields, and that one nearly blocked away, but a foul underneath. I believe Brooks is going to pick up his 4th, and that'll take us to the media timeout with 11:52 remaining here in the second half. California up by 2, and the Vulcans now in the bonus the rest of the way.
Yeah, the Vulcans being in the bonus at this stage of the second half already with just a hair under 12 minutes to go is fairly crucial, because if IUP continues to foul, they'll be in the double bonus here soon, giving them automatically two free throws on every foul. And later in the game, as this game continues to really not gain way one way or the other in terms of anybody pulling away, it can really give the California Vulcans an extra boost of momentum, being able to really pull away in this one, knock down their free throws.
And on the screen now, you can take a look at the upcoming match this Saturday as California takes on the Gannon Golden Knights. And PSAC West play. Like we mentioned, first game of the second half of conference play. The Golden Knights travel down here 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock this Saturday. If you can't come to the Convocation Center in person, we got you here right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network. And also, while we have a second, we can plug the Danny Sankum Show, recorded live in studio here in California. Listen to our sports info director, Matt Kiefer, sit down and have a discussion with Coach Sankum every single week right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and Armstrong Cablecast.
And Matt Kiefer, always an interesting character, really does a lot for this athletic program as a whole in all sports. And kudos to him for being able to juggle all the sports at once. Don't know how he does it. Probably loses a lot of sleep at night, lose some hair follicles, but
I think he's already lost most of them. But also currently looks like he's been dodging our inner office baseball league as he's taken the 98 Yankees, and he has not played his game yet. So Matt, if you're going to listen at some point, play that game.
Got to get on that, Matt.
It'll be the 98 Yankees against the 77 Phillies, I believe, as DeShields makes both. 12 points now for him. California with a 4-point lead, just under 12 to play. DeShields putting in some good minutes off the bench here for California. Marraro. Hesitation now driving in the lane. Fading away over top of Buchanan. That time short. Nice rebound by DeShields and able to get it away. Buchanan now in transition. DeShields wanted the lob, but Buchanan had some space and took the three and knocks it down. 15 points for Jordan Buchanan.
Yeah, Buchanan's first look, as you said, wasn't there, and then he looked around and said, wow, I'm all alone. Let me just fire this thing, and he knocks it down.
It's a couple of three balls now for Jordan Buchanan. Fortune back in the game and was limping off a little bit earlier. Nice to see him back in action. And an off-ball foul. I believe this one will go against Alexander as him and Triggs were fighting for position underneath the basket. Now UP making another substitution. Tyler Grove will come back in. Ian Herring will make his way back to the bench.
As you mentioned, DeShields for California with some good minutes off the bench. He's provided some crucial offensive rebounds in this game so far.
IUP able to get the inbound in. Marraro now driving in the lane up against Whitehead, trying to spin away. Is able to get past him, high off the glass and in. Another fantastic finish by Kaimani Marraro.
Yeah, Marraro, not the biggest guy, only 5'10", but he can definitely finish at the cup.
14 points now for him in a 5-point game. Polak off the screen all alone, but another foul and another one against Alexander called for the moving screen. That's going to be his third.
Yeah, Alexander just trying to set the screen, give Polak some open space, but moved his feet just a little bit, and the officials caught him.
IUP looking to make it a one-score game here. Pump fake by Fortune. Now driving the lane. Fortune dumps it off. Triggs underneath. That one blocked away. Missed by Triggs underneath. And the rebound's batted over top of the backboard and out of bounds. California basketball.
Yeah, good defense by Alexander. Having a good solid base. Not allowing a drive. And Buchanan comes in from up towards the top of the key, able to swat it away.
Alexander on the far side wing, looking for an option, gets it to Buchanan in the corner. Buchanan looking to play a little give and go with Alexander, but those two not on the same page. And another loose ball foul, and Alexander's going to pick up his fourth. As that's 3 quick fouls in a row for Dalman Alexander, and he's going to have to go to the bench.
Yeah, that's big. California just caught out of position a couple times, and Alexander trying to make a play on the ball and picking up a couple of these fouls, as Hannah will have to check back into the game for him.
Alexander, the defensive linchpin here for California. His presence will be missed. Pickens Jr. on the drive off the glass and in over top of Hannah.
It goes right at Hannah, who just checked into the game.
Whitehead in transition. The long two, no good. Hannah grabs the offensive board for California. Buchanan relocates all alone in the corner for three, and Jordan Buchanan has not missed. Makes another one. 18 points now for Jordan Buchanan.
If Buchanan stayed hot from beyond the arc in this one, keeps just finding some open space, able to pull the trigger.
7 for 8 from the field, 4 for 5 for 3. Marraro in the lane, this time a blocking foul against Whitehead as he couldn't quite set his feet. And now IUP in the bonus for the rest of the way, as that's the 7th foul of the half for California, 2nd for Whitehead.
Now that play looked pretty similar to the charge earlier that Whitehead was able to draw, but Marraro driving didn't drop it and lower his shoulder into Whitehead, not causing the charge.
Marraro knocks down the first. Misses the second. Hannah grabs the rebound for California. 5-point game, 62-57, 9:18 remaining. Hannah on the near side wing finds Whitehead driving the lane, trying to pass it off, gets that one poked away by the Crimson Hawks, but the Vulcans trying to recover in defense, but Marraro spins out of it and somehow keeps possession for the Crimson Hawks. Crossover, driving baseline, able to pass it out, relocate the corner three by Grove. That one's way off the mark, no good. And Hannah pulls that one in for California. Handoff this time to Whitehead as Hannah picked up his dribble. Polak in transition. The 3-ball is good and counted, plus the foul, and Cam Polak is going to make his way to the line for a 4-point play.
Yeah, great job just finding the open man on the wing in transition. Polak with the quick trigger fires from near the Cal U logo out towards midcourt.
And Polak, much like his predecessor in KJ McClurg, so good at just contorting your body and doing just enough to draw the foul. And Polak with 18 points can make it 19, and he does as he converts the 4-point play. And California with their biggest lead of the night at 9 points, 66-57 the score, with just under 9 minutes to play in the second half right here in the Convocation Center. Pickens gets the switch on to Moy, who just checked in for the Vulcans. Pump fake by Moore, driving the lane up against the Shields, off the glass, no good. And the loose ball ends up in the hands of Polak. Has a man trailing him. Euro step in the lane, off the glass, no good. Great recovery defense that time by the Crimson Hawks, able to deny Polak at the rim. Alfonso Pickens Jr. now in transition. Grove thought about the three, didn't take it. Now working up against Moore, he finds Moore in the corner, now back up top to Pickens. Pickens driving. Pump fake by Fortune, driving. Pickens relocates into the corner, a couple jab steps. Now trying to work baseline against the Shields. Loses the handle on the ball, and that one's going to tail out of bounds. And great defense that time by Keandre DeShields. Forces the turnover, and that will be the media timeout with 7:54 remaining in the second half. California up by 9. And we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network.
The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference celebrates the athletic and academic excellence of its student-athletes. Last year, over 4,000 achieved at least a 3.25 GPA to earn recognition as a PSAC Scholar Athlete. Athletically, over 70 PSAC teams qualified for the NCAA Championships. Champions on the field, champions in the classroom, making the PSAC proud.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center with 7:54 remaining in the second half. California up by 9, 66-57 the score. Still John Safe and Adam Crawford with you. And Adam, California has been able to up their level on both ends of the court in the last couple of minutes, getting some key crucial stops on the defensive side and able to knock down some shots on the offensive side.
Yeah, able to find some open space offensively, and then defensively, IUP's kind of funneled themselves in towards the baseline on these last couple possessions off the dribble, and California doing a great job moving their feet, not drawing the blocking fouls, and kind of forcing them into that baseline.
And as we mentioned a couple of times coming into this game, you and I were talking before how this backcourt duo for California and Polak and Whitehead was really going to need to step up if California wanted to win. And Whitehead has struggled a little bit in this one, but Jordan Buchanan has really stepped it up for California. 18 points for him in California after the media timeout. Whitehead loose ball, able to tip it to Hannah. Polak wide open, relocates, top of the key, three-pointer. That shot no good. But Moy never gave up on it, able to steal that one away. Polak now driving the lane, loses the handle on it, diving for it, somehow keeps it in, but straight into the arms of the Crimson Hawks. Now IUP going the other way. Moore finds Pickens in the corner. Back up top, Moore. The three from the wing, that time is good.
He's had a good shot so far in this one. Moore now with 22 on the evening.
40% from behind the arc as well, leading all scorers in points from either team. DeShields hands it off. Polak from the elbow is good, and he even fell to the floor, was looking for the contact, but nonetheless, Cam Polak able to knock that one down. 21 points for him.
Yeah, he's been real good off those screens. Just a quick release, able to elevate and fire.
You got to feed the hot hand, so to speak, and it's really been Moore and Polak the last couple of possessions. Moore over to Grove, the three-ball. No good, and Moy able to grab another rebound here for California.
Grove has hit a couple of those three-pointers, but the ones he's missed on, it hasn't really been close. So you got to start to wonder if IUP is going to look for other options beyond the arc.
Hannah finds Polak again. Like I said, you got to feed the hot hand. You got to let Cam Polak go to work here. Step back three, heat check from Polak. That time, no good. It's one of those things where you just got to let him do it. Now Moore in transition behind the back. Over to Fortune. Jab step, thought about the three, didn't take it. Now has some space, takes the three-pointer this time and knocks it down, and just like that, it's a 5-point game.
A good little screen at the top of the key, able to give himself a little bit of separation, able to fire away.
Whitehead continuing the aggressiveness, going hard right at Fortune, and Fortune kind of just bear hugs him, draws the foul, and Donald Whitehead Jr. at the line for 1-1.
Yeah, that's something you want to see from a guy like Whitehead, who hasn't had his way in terms of field goal percentage in this one, but he's not playing scared. He's definitely attacking the basket, playing aggressively on defense, and able to hold his own and just keep distributing the ball, finding the hot hands in this one.
Buchanan checks back into the game for California. Marraro and Herring for IUP, and the Whitehead unable to convert the front end of the 1-1, so it doesn't get the second shot. Marraro able to find Triggs in the post up against Polak. California send the double team his way. Marraro with some space, in the three. Triggs with the offensive board. Can't get the second chance opportunity to go.
Yeah, Polak on defense, giving up a little bit of size to Triggs, but holding his ground, and Triggs not able to finish.
California looking to slow the tempo down a little bit, take some time off the clock. DeShields on the near side. Forgotten how to talk in the last couple of minutes. DeShields finds Hannah up top. Polak on the far side. Driving baseline, trying to find an option, finds DeShields bound pass. Corner three ball, that one way off the mark. And a foul called on the floor for the loose ball. And the Vulcans get bailed out as Cam Polak is going to make his way to the line for 1-1.
Yeah, you said it. Vulcans get bailed out. It was a shot clock violation for California off the air ball from DeShields, and somehow it ends up with Polak going to the line for two shots as IUP gets into the double bonus.
Yeah, I thought that was the 9th foul. Was the 10th foul, so California now in the double bonus. And the referees having a discussion over at the scores table, I think at the discretion of Coach Lombardi. Maybe looking to see if the foul occurred before the shot clock expired.
There's Matt Kiefer at the announce table there on the right. The aforementioned sports information director.
The referees having a discussion, trying to make sure that foul occurred before the end of the shot clock for California. And it looks like with the position of the referee, I believe the call will stand, and Cam Polak's going to make his way back to the line, but still waiting for that official call as both teams are in this timeout. 5:07 remaining. California 68, IUP 63. And Cam Polak's heading his way back to the free throw line, so the call will stand. Polak with 2 shots. Substitution for IUP. Luke Triggs will check out. Demir Brooks back in, and Brooks on 4 fouls. So California may look to try to take advantage of that and try to force a foul out of him on the defensive side of the ball. Polak at the line with 2 shots, 21 points in the game. Knocks down the first. California 69, IUP 63.
And this is the point of the game that we mentioned earlier, that free throws will be crucial with California trying to keep pace ahead of IUP.
And Polak makes the pair. 23 points for him, leading all scorers now in the game. And California with a 7-point lead, 70-63, with just over 5 minutes to play and running. Moore gets it to Brooks. Brooks hands it back off to Moore. Switched on to Hannah. Moore, nice behind the back crossover, just trying to create some space. Dumps it down into Brooks in the post, looking to go to work. Lost the handle, but is able to regain possession. That one blocked away by DeShields. Able to swat that one away from Brooks. California looking to slow the tempo a little bit, like I said, and no rush as they have the lead. Looking to take some time off the clock, get a high-quality shot. Whitehead brings it over to the near side. Takes the screen by DeShields. Whitehead finds DeShields, now driving inside. Picks up his dribble, finds Buchanan, 4 on the shot clock. DeShields relocates, step back 3 at the buzzer. That one too strong, but a fight for the rebound tipped by Hannah into the hands of Brooks. And IUP looking to go the other way with Moore. Moore has some space, takes the 3. That one too strong. And another long rebound is going to end up into the hands of Moore. And IUP is going to take a timeout, prevent the jump ball from being called, and Coach Sankum not happy about it, as he said that was a loose ball. It has to be a jump ball, but IUP get the timeout.
Yeah, IUP able to somehow get their hands on it. Looked like Hannah had a good box out at the top of the key, and somehow the long rebound ended up going between his legs. And Moore following up the shot, able to get his hands on the ball, and IUP, good awareness, getting the timeout in before the jump ball would have given it back to California.
So the Crimson Hawks maintained possession with 3:55 remaining after the timeout. IUP 63, California 70. And it was deadlock even at, I believe it was, 39 apiece in that first half. California up by 7 now. What have you seen in the changes California's made between half number 1 and half number 2?
Well, in the first half, the guards for IUP, number 1, Kaimani Moraro, and number 11, Christian Moore, were really having their way, able to move the ball wherever they wanted to, find some open targets, and they were knocking down the shots that were presented to them. And IUP also able to follow up on a couple offensive rebounds. And defensively, IUP has kind of gone away from some of the switches that they made in the first half on a couple of these California offensive looks. And something else of note to help out California, words are difficult. To help out California on offense, they've started to set some double picks to kind of spring a couple of these guards loose around the outside.
Not the cleanest brand of basketball in this second half for both teams. Not shooting particularly well. California 10 for 28 from the field. That's a 35.7% clip. IUP only 7 for 26 from the field. That's 26.9%. So both teams not really able to knock down their shots, as Moraro gets that one blocked away after the inbound, and he wanted the foul, but nothing called. And California with another block in this one.
A good closeout on Moraro. Ended up with a double team out of nowhere.
California well aware as Whitehead in possession. DeShields at the top of the key. Finds Whitehead back near the far side wing. Whitehead driving the lane off the glass. Gets the roll to go. And like we mentioned, it hasn't quite been his night offensively, but that's a basket that you need at an opportune time like that.
Yeah, that's a confidence booster for Whitehead. Able to get the tough finish.
Moraro driving inside. Got Hannah to bite. Threw it up. That shot no good, but Caden Hannah will draw his second foul. Kaimani Marraro is going to make his way back to the free throw line. And that'll take us to the media timeout with 3:14 remaining. 72-63 the score. So a couple of timeouts back to back to kind of break up the action and play. Like we mentioned earlier, this Saturday, California will take on the Gannon Golden Knights right here in the Convocation Center at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Approximately 3 o'clock for the second start, as you never know how long the women's game will go, but 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock respectively. And like we mentioned, we can take a look at the PSAC West standings one more time here towards the end of this game. Gannon up top, and then everybody else, like you said, within 3 games of each other from second to last place. So it's a dogfight for these playoff spots, and a win like this would be huge for either side. But California, they're able to get a win here today, is able to boost themselves up the rankings a couple spots.
Yeah, and all these teams so close in the rankings, but also really close in play styles and talent overall. Not a lot of separation in any of those games coming up, so you don't really have any cakewalks, and there are certainly a lot of challenges ahead. So for both these teams moving forward, each game kind of feels like a playoff game as we head towards the end of the regular season.
It's Gannon on Saturday. It's Seton Hill next Wednesday. Both of them here in the Convocation Center, as Vulcans played much of that away stretch in the first half of the season and now get kind of the home stretch down on the back end of the schedule. And after the media timeout, it will be Kaimani Marraro at the line, who's had himself a great game, 15 points on the afternoon, 2 for 4 from the free throw line, to go along with 7 rebounds, 4 assists as well. So he's able to knock down the first. Second free throw attempt by Marraro is good. 7-point game, 3:14 remaining, and IUP applying a full court press here, trying to force California into a mistake, but California looking to slow things up. Polak able to find his shields across the timeline, spins away from the danger, brings it back out to Whitehead, who's looking to slow things down, take some time off the clock, and try to whittle it away to a California victory. To Shields. Finds Hanna trailing into the lane, off the glass and in. Great cut and a great finish by Caden Hanna.
A great movement without the ball, able to find some open room in the paint. A lot of the guys were around the perimeter.
Moore, the 3 ball, no good. And the loose ball ends up in the hands of Herring, who's able to grab the offensive rebound, and he just chucks it up off the glass and in. His first basket of the game, and somehow able to get that one to go with the circus shot.
And Herring might have felt himself get away with a little bit of a walk, so he just kind of chucked it up at the basket, and it ended up going in.
Whitehead able to spin away from danger that time and able to make his way across half court. California with possession, just over 2 minutes left to play here in tonight's contest. California up by 7, 74-67 the score. So we're now under the 2-minute mark. Whitehead step back, passes it off, and him and Hanna not on the same page as that one will go out of bounds. California turnover.
And that's where we usually see Whitehead go ahead and pull up and fire that 3 ball with the mismatch on the perimeter, able to get some space on the step back, just looking for one extra pass.
And Whitehead, 10 points, 4 for 15 from the field. Marraro fell to the floor, but able to get the pass off, and another block, but there's a foul underneath the basket. I believe it'll go against Jordan Buchanan. Some 12-on-12 action as Demir Brooks is going to make his way to the line. 9th foul for the Vulcans, so the next foul will send IUP into the double bonus. First shot from Brooks, too strong, no good. I'm surprised California hasn't tried to exploit Brooks more. He's been on 4 fouls for quite a bit, and California not known for their paint prowess, as Brooks is able to knock down the second. 9 points now for him, and the game closed down to 6.
Yeah, Brooks has been switching off onto the guards, and the guards just have been kind of staying around the perimeter and not really driving the hole.
Polak able to get across the timeline. California able to evade this pressure. We're winding things down. Under a minute 30 now remaining. And Coach Sankum and the Vulcans are going to take a timeout with 1:28 remaining. In California, if you just look at the odds here, if you're able to knock down a shot, make it an 8-point game, I'm not going to say that will be the game, but your likelihood of winning this matchup goes up exponentially if you're able to get a basket here on this possession.
Yeah, especially being in the double bonus for California, that helps a lot. And IUP probably going to have to foul in the next possession or two if they want to try to maximize their own possessions. And for California, you want to try to keep this thing a 3-possession ball game, and at least 2. So just trying to play keep away, milk off as much clock as possible, and more importantly, get a quality shot instead of just getting up any shot.
Yeah, as it stands right now, it is a 2-possession game, 74-68. So if California is able to make a basket, it would push it to a 3-possession game. 1:28 remaining, 14 seconds on the shot clock. Buchanan to inbound, finds Hannah. Brings it back out to Whitehead. Waiting for about 7 seconds on the shot clock before the action start. Whitehead, step back, long 2. That one no good. Rebounded by Brooks. Marraro now in transition. IUP looking to push the tempo as they need a quick basket. Marraro in the lane, gets the foul, and makes the shot. And Kaimani Marraro with a 3-point play opportunity.
A great little hesitation at the top of the key. Gets Buchanan to head back towards the perimeter. And we've mentioned it all game. Marraro's shiftiness, able to just squeak right by and draw the contact, and a great finish.
That's Buchanan's 4th, and if he's able to knock down the free throw, and he does, that makes IUP's game plan a heck of a lot easier. It's now a 1-possession game. Inbounded 2, Whitehead nearly loses it. As IUP continue this full court pressure, Polak crossed the timeline, now under a minute left to go. Polak trying to spin away, looking for an option, finds DeShields on the near side, getting double-teamed. DeShields nearly loses it, brings it back out to Whitehead, and California looking to wind things down here. 45 seconds remaining. Whitehead, crossover combination, driving the lane off the rim, no good. And a fight for the rebound ends up into the hands of Marraro. 4-on-1 the other way. Moore repositions, 3-ball, no good. Brooks offensive rebound, and a foul called on the floor right underneath the basket. They're going to get Caden Hanna with the foul, and Demir Brooks is going to make his way back to the line. And a Vulcan slow to get up on the far side of the court. Keandre DeShields took a tumble trying to go for that offensive rebound, and he's still down. Looks like with the help of the training staff, he's able to make his way to his feet. Now he's going to slowly make his way off the court. Hopefully everything's okay with him. But California not doing themselves any favors down the stretch here. IUP have taken their chances pretty well, and they're now well within this ball game with 30.8 seconds left.
Yeah, and a couple of possessions ago, I was surprised that IUP didn't apply more pressure in the half court once California got over midcourt and broke the full court press to try to speed up their offense a little bit. But that last possession, you saw they pressured the guards up top towards midcourt and forced California into a mistake.
Brooks at the line is able to knock down the first and can make it a 1-point game. Is able to make this second free throw, and this is where the strategy really starts to kick in. You're definitely going to see an IUP press as Brooks misses the second and Polak grabs the rebound, and this is who the Vulcans want to have possession of the basketball. But IUP continuing this full court pressure, and a timeout taken by Coach Sankum with 22.8 seconds remaining. And you're going to have to draw up a play to get Polak the basketball because he is your best free throw shooter by a mile. If you're able to knock down a few free throws, that's going to be the ball game.
Yeah, and with only 0.8 seconds separating shot clock and game clock, you have to foul here if you're IUP to try to get yourself another possession because California can run this all the way down to the end of the game if you don't foul them.
A tale of two tactical masterminds, Coach Lombardi in his 19th season, Coach Sankum in his 7th for California. Two of Division II's best, and two of the best that the PSAC has to offer.
And something to be careful of if you're IUP going for a foul here in the next 15 seconds or so. You got to be careful not to come away with an intentional foul, because that would give California the ball back and reset the shot clock so they could run it all the way down to the end of the game if they wanted to.
California to inbound just in front of their own bench. Buchanan to inbound for the Vulcans. See what these two drew up in the huddle. And a long game of chess. See who can win here. Alexander receives the inbound pass, able to rip away. Whitehead now in possession, and California able to take about 5 seconds off the clock. Donald Whitehead Jr. fouled, and he's going to make his way back to the free throw line. And Whitehead 1 for 3 from the line this game. And we talked about just hasn't been his night, but has a chance to ice the game here if he's able to knock down 2 free throws.
Yeah, and even one is huge here. If he can knock it down, at least make this a 3-point game.
The first free throw from Alexander is good. Not Alexander, Whitehead. I always get him and Dahlman Alexander because I think of Don and Dahlman, but Whitehead knocks down the first, makes it a 3-point game, and can make it 4 here. He's able to convert. Second free throw from Whitehead is good, and that could just about do it here. Crucial free throws made by the Don. We talked about it hasn't been his night offensively, but 2 big offensive plays that made basket earlier on, and now the 2 made free throws here. Let's see what IUP can cook up. Marraro trying to drive baseline, finds more in the corner for 3. That one is good. 7.6 seconds remaining. And they're going to say that's a long 2. So now it's a 2-point game with 7.6 seconds remaining, 76-74 the score.
Yeah, on the kick out, Moore had his foot on the 3-point line. So the officials saw it, ended up being a long 2 as they go over to take a look at it just to make sure. But I believe this will stand as a 2-point shot. But that is huge for IUP still to come away with points nonetheless. It wasn't a 3-ball, but you're down multiple possessions. You don't need a 3-pointer in that scenario. You just need points quickly to give yourself some time to get the ball back.
And the difference between a 2 and a 3 here is massive for IUP, because all they would need is just one mistake by California, and if they can make a shot, they win the basketball game. They make California's job an awful lot harder with 7.6 seconds remaining. And like you said, the referees looking over, having a discussion to try to make sure what the official call will be. And they added some time back on, 8.9 seconds left, and it will be a 2-pointer by Moore. Foot on the line, like you said. So that makes it 76-74. Still a 2-point game. If California is able to escape this pressure, knock down some free throws, it could be the ball game.
Yeah, and on that drive there by Marraro, we talked about it basically all game long. His explosiveness with the ball in his hand, opening up some shooters for IUP, and he's able to find another one for a big 2.
Whitehead now to inbound, finds Polak, and a quick foul by Fortune. California will get their leading scorer on the afternoon, 23 points for Cam Polak, to the free throw line with a 2-point lead, and Cam Polak can put the game out of reach here if he's able to knock down both.
Yeah, we mentioned at the open that California guards needed to play well today in order for them to win, and they didn't get as much production out of Whitehead. Still 12 points on the evening, but Polak leading the charge with some help from some other supporting cast members.
24 for him, a 3-point basketball game, 77-74, 7.5 seconds remaining. Second free throw from Polak is up and good. And that could be the dagger here, folks, from the Convocation Center. 25 points from Cam Polak. And a 4-point cushion for California. Marraro across half court. Not enough time. The 3-ball way off the mark, and that is it from the Convocation Center. California with a huge win over their rivals in the IUP Crimson Hawks. Your final score, California 78, IUP 74. From everyone here at CUTV, thank you very much for watching. From our directors, James Salvatore and Gary Smith, from my broadcast partner, Adam Crawford. My name is Jonathan Sapin. We'll see you all here on Saturday as California takes on Gannon right here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Network. And as always, good night, California.